Alright, the first thing we want to do is take this appearance cover off. There's an 8mm bolt down here. It's right next to the dipstick. A little number 8 nut is right here. I want to show you guys what I was doing here. She's out. That's a lot easier than fighting with it. You should be able to pull up on this cover. Here we go. There's that sucker. We'll pull this clip straight out, this red clip. That's the safety clip. And we push down on this tab, pull straight out on it. I'm going to take this coil pack out. And I'm going to take a look at the spark plug, and more than likely you're going to need all new spark plugs here. Looks good. And you can blow this cavity out with some compressed air, but it looks like there was a good seal on the coil pack. I'm looking down in it and it looks really clean. You know, I got a 5/8 spark plug socket. The spark plug socket's got a rubber boot inside of it to grab the end so you can pull it out. Let's see what we got here. Got her loose. Alright, I wanted to show you guys. This is the number 4 spark plug I took out. This is the new one here. I don't know if you can see that too well. You can see the gap in between the end of the spark plug and the new one. It's the one on the left is obviously pretty worn, and we're going to go ahead and put new spark plugs in it. Most spark plugs don't require anti-seize anymore, but I'm going to put a little bit on it. Just very little. And these are all pre-gapped. And the end of it is so small right there, I don't want to take a chance at trying to gap it and knocking the end of it off. So I'm just kind of visually inspecting it. It looks pretty good. Get it back in there. The box says install a new spark plug and then go about 1/16 of a turn. She's snug. I'm gonna go 1/16 of a turn. Kind of get the feel of it. Alright, let's get this other coil out. I'm gonna swap these 2 coils because I'm having a misfire on cylinder 4. I believe it's the plugs, but just in case I start having a misfire on number 5. I know the coil's bad. I did own the coil out, but sometimes it could be intermittent, where at one point it may be good, the next point it's not. And we're going to put some boot grease on it. I'm going to stick this one I took out of the other one right here, where we can kind of determine if it's coil pack or not. And I'm using my little impact to get these out, but I'm not going to use it to put them back in. I do apologize, but I don't have a torque wrench that goes real low. I'm just going to do this by feel. I'm going to do the same thing when I take this upper intake out. I'm just going to kind of get the feel of how much torque it took me to get it out. And this one we'll do to put it back in. See how much torque it takes to get one of these loose. A little bit. That's good. Everything looks good there. Back on there. Heard it click in. Lock the tab back. Let's do our next spark plug. Get this other thing out. Sometimes it's good with spark plugs to loosen them a little bit, then go back and tighten them other way. Sometimes they'll have carbon build up on the back side of the head. Once you get it loose, it shouldn't get tight. If it does, there's carbon build up, and you take a chance of breaking it off. So you just go back and forth until it breaks that carbon off. My F250, I had to spray carburetor cleaner on it, and it's known that people were breaking the spark plugs off, and it was the way it had a spark arrestor. Then the spark plug down in the head was really long, and it was more difficult. This one doesn't seem too bad. That one ain't as bad as the last one. I'm gonna stick some more of this boot grease just down on the end here. So the dielectric grease helps with moisture and corrosion. Just put it on the end. It'll push it down on there once I get it back in here. That back on there. A bolt. Start the bolt by hand. I'm using a little 1/4 inch drive to tighten this back up. Back on there. Move it down. Click, lock her back in, and like I said, I did swap these two. I had a misfire on some before. That's 4, 5, 6. So I know if I clear the codes out and it happens on 5, I know I got an intermittent coil. Right now it owns out and it looks good, but you never know. It could get hot. Seems like when I started it up to show you guys, it wasn't acting too bad. But we'll see. Checking down in there, making sure everything's clean. If you look down in there and you got debris in there, down in the cylinder cavity here, the spark cavity, you don't blow it out with compressed air. If you got oil down in there, you got a leak around the valve cover gasket, there's seals underneath here. But everything looks good. We'll keep rocking and rolling. And she feels a little tight, so I'm going to go back, loosen it, tighten it, loosen it, tighten it. Just trying to work any kind of carbon off the bottom of the spark plug that may be hanging on the bottom of the head. She feels good now. And it's good to start it up warm it up, warm the motor up before you start taking anything loose. That way it heats the metal up, heats the carbon up. I did that before I got started. All my gaps look good. Let's put some more anti-seize on here. Just a little bit. You don't want to put too much on it. Doesn't take much. Don't look good either. Alright. Already put our anti-seize on there. Gap looks good. Let me get this started back. Good. Little dielectric grease in it. Back on there. Damn, the rubber on my socket stuck on the spark plug. There we go, got it back. Got a little rubber sleeve in there to grab the spark plug. If you didn't have that, it would not come out very easy and you'd have to fish it out of that hole. So they do make spark plug sockets, nothing special about it other than having a rubber sleeve on the inside of it. Grab the top of the spark plug, but you can see right there it got hung in there. I had to stick it back on there and jiggle it a little bit to get the sleeve to pull back on the socket. On here, click. All right, one side's done. Bad thing is we gotta take this upper intake off. So next, we're gonna go ahead and pull the air cleaner. I'm gonna remove this mass airflow sensor. It's got a little lock clip on here. Pull it loose. Everything on here is 8mm. We got a hose clamp back here holding the intake box on the throttle body. We'll loosen that up, so we'll pull the intake box off. Looks like we got a air intake vacuum tube here. Get this off. This off the throttle body. And this bad boy should come right up. Connector right there. So we got connector right there. Looks like this cover needs to come off. We got a little push-up connector right here. And we're going to use something like this. And we can't get it in here. Pull that little tab up. It comes out. some kind of little insulator cover. Pull that out of there. We got 6 bolts. And then a 7th one right here. We need to pull them. Let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. So we're going to be pulling electrical connectors. That looks like a 10mm. Pull it loose. Stick it out of the way before I touch the battery. We're going to be pulling electrical connectors. And we don't want the battery hooked up while we're doing that. So we need to disconnect this one and this one. And then we got these little holders right here. Pull them loose. We got a nut in right here. This little tool underneath there. Pry it out. Bottom. Man, that's a make sure it's in there. We got this connector right here we got to pull loose. Anything connected to the intake. There's that one. Oops, that bastard's on here. Look. Yeah, Glenn. Get it off there. There it is. Alright, so we're going to move all this out of the way. Let's see if we can get our little trusty tool in here. Got a little half-moon clamp holding it on. Let's see if I can push it out. We're going to pry it loose. I think you can push this stuff, push it forward a little bit. That little connector was a booger. Had a little half moon, little lock clamp on there. Set him up there. You gotta take this tubing out. You gotta take this connector off right here. And these little connectors can be a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's just easier to try to tug on them. Going back and forth while you're pulling out. There it is. Get it off. You gotta pull this vacuum tubing off. If you have some needle noses that open up, you can use those. I'm just gonna get a pair of channel locks. See if we can't move. Like that clamp. I can get in here. Make this be easier just to pull the tubing with it. There we go. What a bitch. Come on there. Get a better angle on there. I got my tripod camera set up right here and I'll try not to knock it over. There we go. She's off there. I'm going to pull these two clips right here. There we go. You just gotta quit playing around with it. Get some big jump thing. Come on. Damn. Damn, that's not a bitch. Well, break it loose. Alright, we got that off there. And it looks like we got all our connectors loose. Everything's tied to it. I think the intake's ready to come off. 8mm. I'm feeling the tension. There's a Pcb valve tubing in the back. I can't get my hand back here to get to it. This bolt is longer than the rest of them. So I'm going to try to get the intake out and release that tubing. Those bolts stay in the intake. All but the middle one. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and pull this intake off. It's going to have a little bit of a seal to it. Break it loose. There we go. Had to jump it around a little bit. Still got some holding there. You got hold. Oh. There's another little 8mm screw in the very back. Back through, you can see it back through this hole right here. Looks like I'm going to take the throttle body off. It wouldn't hurt to get it off to clean it. I'm going to feel the torque. I'm going to take the first one out by hand. She's got a little torque on her. Okay. Let's see if we can get this bad boy on here. I'm wiring. gonna have to take the throttle body off. There's another screw underneath it. We'll have to get it off there. Take some throttle body cleaner to it, clean it out. Throttle body will make a dirty throttle body will make a car run rough. Usually get a little carbon deposit gunk in it. Looks like black coffee. Damn, I dropped the screw. Let's see what this one looks like here. This one don't look too bad. It's got a little carbon buildup in it, but we actually had issues out of the Lincoln after we got it, and I think they changed the throttle body on it twice, and I don't think it was the throttle body. Either that or it just needs to be cleaned real good. There's a little screw right here, and I figured it'd be easier to get that throttle body off. Everything's 8mm. Loose. Get our fat hand in here. I don't know what was holding it. Thought it was that Pcv valve to it, but looked like that was it. Why they make cars so complicated to work on? They can make your shit easier. At least I want people working on them. Here's that. Now she should come off. Just electrical wire out of the way. And there she is, boy. Tear it apart. And we got a new gasket forward here. We're gonna clean all this out real good. And then we can get those back cold packs. I'm gonna take a shop rag and cover this lower intake up. Nothing falls down in it. Now I'm just gonna cover it up. Nothing falls down in it. Everything else real good. All right. Next, we're gonna go ahead and change this Pcv valve so we don't forget about it. And I want to show you guys on this intake, this upper intake. There's that little clip right there. I just pushed out on that, then pulled that tubing right off of that pipe down there. So you just take that and push it in, and that'll pull right off. I kept feeling something over here. Kept feeling this, and then I got that little tab. So if you push in on that tab, that'll pull right off. But I was fighting with it. When you get the PVC valve out, you're supposed to be able to twist the whole valve, and it should come out. I'm gonna put a pair of pliers on it. I got a swollen finger right here. I'm gonna get a new valve for it. You can put this on here and give it a little, entice it a little bit. So I got it started. Basically twist to unlock counterclockwise. And as it gets to a certain point, and you can look at the new one. I bought the new one first, and I seen that it how it came out. There it is. That's a Pcv valve, positive crankcase ventilation. So when it gets positive pressure on there, it lifts up on that valve that's rattling in there and pushes, ventilates out if it gets too much pressure in the crankcase. So we got to get this one off of here. We got a new one. You know it's on there good. Just kind of roll it around until it comes out of there. There it is. So we got a new valve here, and you can see the slot in it. How you push it in and then twist it. What's up, man? We're just gonna push that back on there. There she goes. And you see the slot in it. I'm gonna line that up and kind of move it around until it feels like it drops in. Drops in right there. Push down on it. Twist it in. So it should go in easier than it comes out. It just had a good seal on it where it's been in there for a while. There's actually like a little groove in the valve cover that you can see where there's a groove on the let me just show you here. Well, you can't see it, I tore it up. But right here, before I put pliers on it, there's a little tab. And when you twist it on there, you can see in the valve cover, there's a little tab where it's got a slot in it that it locks on the base of it. There's that. I can get this up in here. Do it by hand. Locking tab. Push down on the hammock and lock it. Connector comes out. Millimeter on the contacts. These are hard to get out. No jiggle. It looks nice and dry. Can't see down in there. Let's see if we can get our extension. Ain't gonna work. I'm gonna need a different extension. You may have to put the extension in there first. Like more. Then put a ratchet in there. Counterclockwise. Alright. Loosen it, and I'm going to tighten it back. Loosen it again. Tighten it back a little bit. And then I should be able to come on out with it. Ratchet off. In. You have it released. long threads on these spark plugs. Alright, she's out. And she's worn out. This new spark plug. Sees on it. Put that basket back in there. Made contact. Ratchet in on there. Alright. Contact all the way. No contact on the wall. Just a bit more. That should be good. Shouldn't have to too much force. Some spark plugs have what they call crush washers on it. Looks like a double washer. You can go quarter turn, half turn more on that one once you make contact. These are tapered, so basically you just want to go 1/16 eighth of a turn. My torque wrench doesn't drop down low enough to torque it, so apologize for that. I'm gonna put us a little electric grease on there. Backwards being a booger. Unless you can push them forward, then get the lace and pull them out. Just on there, boy. Nice and dry. Spark plug. Loosen them a little bit, turn it back, loosen a little bit, tighten a little bit, come out. Not great. Number 4 looked like it was the worst, which said we had a misfire. I'm not going to put that rubber boot back on there. For some reason it's sticking to the spark plugs. Let's see. these. Go ahead and stick my spark plug on my socket. I'll get it down there as far as I can before I actually drop it. There we go. Alright, we make contact. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a turn. Looks good. Put the cold tap back on. We're going to put a little dielectric grease on it. Back in there. There she is. Her screw. Plug back in here. Get off. In there. It's a little tight. I'm trying to keep going, so I'm going to tighten it back a little bit. Loosen it a little bit. Tighten it back a little bit. I should be able to come on that way. Too bad, not the greatest. Spark plug. My boot. Stay on that spark plug. There's where I can for that belt. Make contact. And now turn. So get some of this dielectric grease on this. And this cold pack. Back in there. Yep. I'm going to clean the upper intake out. I'm going to do that off the camera. I'm just going to clean out where the gasket is. I got a new gasket board. I'm going to clean out around the throttle body. You can get throttle body and air intake cleaner. So I'm going to spray out around the inside of where the butterfly valve, the valve opens and closes with the gas pedal. Get the carbon out, and I'm going to clean up around the intake runners where the gasket is that sits back on top of here and get it all cleaned out. I'll wipe all this out real good before I put it all back together. I'm going to do that off camera. My battery's running low. And then we'll put it back together. Alright, I'm going to put this upper intake back on. Move our rags out of the way here. I think I'm going to grab a paper towel. It's trying to leave red fuzz everywhere from the shop rags. Grab me some paper towels. I'm going to try to wipe this off the best I can. I wanted to use the shop rags, but they were leaving red fuzz all over the place. All that coming out of there. Just want to mainly clean off the surface where the gasket's going to set. Make sure we get a good seat. Best I can to get most of it off, at least. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna roll that. There's your upper intake. Get back up in there. Out of the way. At least something in the way. Baskets. There. Looks like it. Alright, I'm gonna start tightening down some of these screws. I'm gonna do it by hand. getting them in place. Basically, installing the upper intake is going to be in the reverse of taking it off. It's usually easier to take things off than it is to put it back on, but in this case, I think it's going to be easier to put it back together. I had such trouble getting everything apart. And I'm just finger tightening these for now. There's a sequence of tightening these bolts up. I'm going to let you know what that is. Don't forget to put that PVC valve, hook it back up in the back. I'm waiting until I get all my bolts tightened up. And I'm going to do this by hand. And it's showing the sequence. Is this one first and then this one. And we want to tighten this one up. This one snug it down. And this one. And then this one. Like I said, my torque wrench starts at 120, and this is 89 inch-pounds of torque. So I wasn't prepared. I don't have the right torque wrench for it. So I'm just going to do it by hand, by feel. So you start here, 1, 2, 3, and then you go to this one. Then you jump to this one. And I'm getting this right out of the shop service manual. You go to that one, and this one. And then the last one's this one. And I'm going to go back around it a couple times. So we started here. And we went 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 here. I'm going to go over it one more time. So this is the first one. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. Sixth one. Seventh one. 7 bolts. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those feel pretty tight. I'm just doing this by feel, about how much pressure I had to put on it to get it off. Pretty tight. That's pretty tight. Pretty tight. Tight. Pretty tight. Pretty tight. Using a little quarter inch drive ratchet. I don't over tighten it. That's pretty good. Alright, next thing I want to do, I want to put that PVC valve back on. And don't forget about that. Reach back here and feel for it. On the tube. On the right angle piece. It's got the connector on it. And I just want to slip it over the tube and it should snap in. Yeah, baby. There it is. Hard to click. Alright, so we got that. Now we want to put this other screw back in. We took it out down here. And everything is in reverse. Put this screw back in, holding the intake down. Make sure I got the intake tightened back down before I tighten this back down. But if you want to get a torque wrench, it's 89 inch-pounds on the coil bolts. On the upper intake bolts, 89 inch-pounds. All 8 millimeters are 89 inch-pounds. The spark plugs were 133 inch-pounds. But I don't have a good inch-pound torque wrench. I need to get one, note to self. Got a good foot-pound one. Not an expensive foot-pound one, but one that I can actually use. It is New Year's Eve. I want to tell everybody Happy New Year's. Tomorrow's New Year's. And I'm not over tightening this, it's just it's in a tough spot to get to. Take the extension off and see if I can get to it a little better. Some of this stuff back here in the back is a pain in the ass. think I'm gonna put an 8mm off of this. This long extension I got. Just make sure I got it tight. I don't want anything coming loose underneath there, falling out. That was too big. It's good to have the right tools for the job. If you don't have the right one, you're gonna fight with it. You get different extensions. I think that one looks good. I'm just gonna give that a little snug, make sure it's good and tight. We're good there. So let's go ahead and get our throttle body back on. Let's see, it came off like so. Bottom ball in there. I'm going to put this other top bolt in there and line it up. I can see what I'm doing here. On there. And the home stretch. Alright, put our throttle body back on. Tighten them up in a cross pattern. Out of the way. I got my big head in the way. really over tight. Looks like I'm tightening it pretty hard, but I'm not. Goodness no. Alright. So, now this goes here. Click. Lock it back in. Now this goes here. Click. This little tab back on here. Like that. I know this goes here, and we had that little half moon piece. Let's go ahead and get the half moon piece in there. Just won't push it in all the way. It'll probably be easier. Got to go this way because it's round. Yes. Let's just get it on there first. A little clips of pain in the ass. Now let's try to get it on there. It's a hard little spot right there. Yeah, there it is. I had to flip the connector and go in there a certain way. Alright, we got that. We got that, and that. Now this goes back here. So I made that up. Yep. You know, channel locks here. Vacuum tubing back on there. Got that back on there. Let's see. Now, this and this is going to go back on there. Go back on there. That goes back on there. That goes there. This one I had to cut, but it's a piece of one. This one we can probably get back on here. That's that. Air intake back on here, and our covers. I'm gonna have to go get a filter. I'm gonna clean this out and get a filter. I should have bought an air filter. Yeah, it's my bad. If you're gonna do this, get you an air filter. Let's put this back on here. It's probably would have been easier before I put the connectors on there. You can kind of go in at an angle, come out counterclockwise, go in back in clockwise. Catching on that tubing back there. Alright, we got it. Got our clip here. That's back in. All looks good there. Let's get our trash on down the way here. Let's go ahead and put this appearance cover back on here. And we got another tubing going over to the air intake right there. Back on. Let's get an air intake box back on. Get that like that. Active. Alright, got the air intake back on, got a connector there, and then we got this vacuum tubing over here, push it in the side of the air hose, and then we got a hose here. Alright, all we got left to do is tighten up the hose clamp on the air intake and we're done. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.